Good morning, everybody. It is about 11:30 on Monday, February 6th. I am off work today, getting ready to have a couple of girlfriends come and pick me up and go to lunch and use the gift card that the guy brought me a couple of weeks ago. So I am going to put that to good use today. I want to tell you a little bit about my weekend. So I mentioned a few months ago that the possibility of me moving sometime this year was kind of coming down the pike. And I found out Saturday that I will not be getting my lease renewed in August. I will be making a move whether I want to or not. So I am making the assumption that the universe is giving me an upgrade whether I want it or not. Now, that being said, I have also talked a lot about a lot of forced moves that have come upon me over the last probably, from 2007, 2009, 2010, 2014. It was like every time I turned around, I would get in a place, it wouldn't work out for whatever reason. They decided to let it go back to the bank. I lost my house. I lost my apartment because they found out I had cats and they raised my rent, and it was already after the market tanked. So just sometimes it was my fault. Sometimes it was just the circumstances. Sometimes people came back from their faraway job and wanted their house back. And sometimes I had a leak in the roof above me, and I just got really sick of the landlord not listening to me. So I moved. So now there's going to be some new energy coming into the air. I'm not sure exactly when. I know I have to be out of here by August, because I think August 15th is when my lease will be up, but it sounds like I can move out before if I want. I haven't found a new place yet. Again, it took me a couple days over the weekend to process all of that. So a couple of days of some crying and feeling in that energy of like, fuck, this is not what I need right now. Remember last week I said I felt like I was on a cliff of anxiety and all it was going to take was one little shove to knock me over. Well, it did. It kind of knocked me on my ass. But I am going to look at this as an opportunity to make my next move. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I already have my list of what I want to have happen. So you guys that watch me all the time will find out if the universe provides me a miracle or if I have a meltdown instead. I don't know. Everything's going to be fine. I know that. It was just kind of like the reality of the shock set in. And so I had a healing session yesterday morning with my friend from England, and I had already planned on doing either. She told me to be ready with what I wanted to talk about. And my original plan was either going to be, I wanted to work on stuff around this broken heart or blocked heart that I feel like I have and have had a lot of my life, or I wanted to work on my abundance blocks. Well, since I found out that I was moving, we ended up naturally having abundance blocks be the thing that we worked on. So she is like just the coolest, and I do not have her information handy to read off, but I can post it someplace on Telegram or something in case anybody's interested. She is today traveling to India, and so her and I have become better and better friends, and it all started because I did a tarot reading for her a couple of years ago for a very brief moment when I thought, again, I was going to start doing tarot readings. So anyway, that is going on. I have a reading today at 5, and the last thing that I'm going to talk about is, we've got all of these stories about the eggs going on, the plants being burned down, the chickens dying, many theories of whether eggs are good for you, eggs are bad for you. And I don't have all the details because I'm not as into this guy as my friend is, but there is an author out there called Anthony William. He is also known as the medical medium. I would guess many of you already know who he is. And he says that all of these viruses that go around, I'm going to try to watch my words carefully, all of them are man-made, and that they basically are made in a lab, and they use the egg whites to make them grow or do whatever. And then this other theory that's going around right now is that the egg yolk is blocking the spiked protein from the V's that a lot of us did not get, but a lot of other people did. So it's interesting how one story makes it sound like eggs are really, really bad. And then we've got this whole other one going around that makes them sound that they're good, and that the bad guys don't want people eating them because they're blocking their you-know-whats. But at the same time, this is my thought. Every time we find out something big has happened, like when the baby formula shortage happened, we learned just how much crap is in the baby formula. And a lot of times when these big manufacturing facilities burn, which I think is intentional, I definitely feel that it's intentional, seems to be the white hats are doing that more than the bad guys. But whatever the case is, everybody ends up finding out how bad something was down the road. So I'm wondering if the whole egg shortage again is not cleaning out something in them that is bad for us humans. And I don't know, but this is also, oh God, I had another thought. Oh, and this is another thought, like supposedly there's this huge egg shortage right now. Everything that I have learned from Homesteaders at the moment is we just got into February. So I assume the main big shortage happened in January. Well, something has changed in the way they are making chickens lay eggs artificially, because my understanding from the homesteaders out there is that chickens, I guess the word is molt. I may say this wrong. I've never had a chicken in my life except when I was probably a kid and I didn't take care of it. My mom and dad did. And I don't even remember if I had chickens. My grandma and grandpa had them. But in the wintertime, when the light is shorter, the chickens don't lay eggs like they do in the summertime. And we here in the United States just went through the shortest period of time. And it still gets dark relatively early, but so I would imagine naturally the eggs are not being laid because the chickens are not laying them intentionally. It's like they give themselves a little break. Now, my understanding also, in a lot of these big manufacturing places, they keep heating lights on them all the time. So even in the wintertime, they're laying on a regular basis. So part of me thinks that maybe there's some change up in the forcing of chickens to lay eggs in the winter that is not natural. Again, from my understanding, and I remember asking this to someone that had provided a chicken or provided eggs to a grocery store 20 years ago when I was doing mobile closings. It was at the title company, and that's what he did. He provided eggs. He was like a big egg supplier for Kroger or something like that. And I remember asking him kind of like, how exactly does that happen? And he said, all chickens come in with the amount of eggs that they are going to lay when they are born. So you can you can shorten that up by making them lay unnaturally in the middle of the wintertime over and over and over again. That means they're just going to run out of their eggs sooner. Or you can prolong them and maybe prolong the chicken's life by doing it the way their body naturally does it. So I am questioning, again, I'm wondering if maybe one of the reasons there's an egg shortage right now is because more and more people are realizing forcing chickens to lay in the wintertime when it's not natural is detrimental for, I mean, they've got these heaters in these big manufacturing plants. This is so funny. I also remember when I sold real estate, I had an attorney that was a client of mine, and one of his big cases, he was suing somebody. I think his client was Purdue, which is a chicken production farm, but he was suing somebody in regards to that because a chicken manufacturing plant had burned down like 20 something years ago. And so having those heaters in the wintertime can cause something like that. So it's like you've got this fine balance. It's like, do you want to have the heaters on and risk forcing chickens to have eggs when they shouldn't be and potentially burning down the whole barn? Or do you let them rest the way they should and produce the way their body naturally wants them to? You know, again, it's like, I don't know. I guess this is an opinion. You tell me what you think's going on, because eggs have gone up in my grocery store, but I am definitely not seeing $9 for a dozen eggs. I think the ones that I can't find jumbo eggs like I used to buy, so those have disappeared. But the extra large are still under $4 for a dozen, and yes, they have gone up. But so anyway, that was just the main thing that I wanted to talk about. Is like, I keep thinking about that conversation that I've had with my friend Dawn about what Anthony William, the medical medium, says about eggs, and what where he thinks all of these unnatural viruses have come from. And he talks about all of them, all the autoimmune system stuff. Apparently those viruses lodge into different organs in the body, and depending on which one it is, it lodges into different organs and causes different autoimmune system stuff, like the thyroid, hypothyroid, or thyroidism, hypo, either one. Something has lodged into the thyroid, based on what he says. The herpes virus, God, I can't remember what all she said. She sent me a bunch of stuff this morning, and I didn't write it down because I was running out of time. But anyway, for those of you who are interested in knowing what he says about them, you can get his book, and he's got several of them, lots and lots and lots of them. She said he never made anything political over it. It was just kind of like, it was a common fact with him and other people that these were made, these things were made in the lab, and that they used the whites of chicken eggs to do it. So anyway, that is my story for today, and I look forward to talking to you some more. Have a great day. Bye.